Hello everyone, my name is Julia and this is my graduate research project for the MGT6176 Compensation and Benefits Management class with Dr. Diane Sanchez at Amberton University. My graduate research project is structured as follows: Introduction, Hypothesis, Methodology, Company Introduction, Background and Current Challenges, Compensation and Benefits Management Overview and Research, Total Reward Systems and 21st Century Implications and Best Practices, Suggestions regarding a Total Rewards Plan tailored to the FDC Legal Solutions Company, Conclusion, and References. Introduction. This research project will focus on designing a contemporary compensation and benefits system, or total rewards program, for a small law firm, highlighting considerations related to aligning the same with the overall organizational objectives and a differentiation business strategy, as well as a focus on reducing turnover, increasing employee attraction and retention, and thereby optimizing overall organizational performance and revenue growth. The company showcased in this research project is Florida Defense Counsel Legal Solutions, and the particular focus will be given to the position of associate attorney. Hypothesis. A compensation and benefits management system is an indispensable and essential organizational element that needs to be carefully created and configured in a purposeful, situationally appropriate, and tailored manner to optimize the effects of this strategic HR tool. This includes the alignment of the overall business strategy and organizational objectives throughout all business components, internal alignment, consideration of the relevant market and external influences, as well as critical psychological aspects related to motivation and job satisfaction that directly influence employee attraction and retention and thereby maximizing organizational performance. Applying these aspects will decrease turnover and increase retention for associate attorneys at FDC Legal Solutions. The methodology used in this research project includes an extensive literature review of peer-reviewed journals and research articles, including quantitative methodologies such as surveys and statistical analysis found therein, and a strong emphasis on an application of personal knowledge and experience within the law firm setting. The company highlighted in this presentation is Florida Defense Counsel Legal Solutions, or short FDC Legal Solutions, and is a Florida law firm that was founded in 2014 and specializes in insurance defense litigation, which involves the legal representation of insured parties and entities in disputes related to claims covered by an insurance policy. They specialize in personal injury defense litigation, such as automobile accidents, slip and falls, trip and falls, premise liability, governmental liability, construction defense, and insurance coverage defense, and their clients are primarily insurance companies. Revenue creation and business model. Revenue creation. The attorneys bill for their time by recording the same in the firm's legal billing software according to each client's specific billing guidelines, including detailed rules and regulations regarding billing language, customer-specific procedures and sequences, as well as mandatory form submissions and communication policies. After invoice submission to the client, the bill time is reviewed and evaluated by the client regarding alignment with their guidelines, and entries may be reduced accordingly. Thus, extensive training and experience is necessary to optimize efficiency and productivity. I recommend a differentiation strategy as our business strategy, focusing on excellent customer service and communication. It is a known fact that in the legal industry, there are major challenges related to the frequency and quality of communication between clients and their attorneys. Clients want regular and timely updates regarding their case and wish to be more fully involved. The firm can use this knowledge to differentiate itself from competitors by strategically aligning this objective throughout the organization. The same can then be measured with customer service metrics such as client surveys, software tracking, communication, and reporting. Unlike other organizations, FDC Legal Solutions cannot increase the pricing for their products and services. The rates are negotiated with the client at the beginning of the relationship and are rarely revisited. Thus, it is crucial to optimize billable hours and maximize efficiency through diligent application of knowledge and experience. Current challenges. The organization has significantly grown over the past 10 years due to its excellent litigation skill set, trial verdicts, successful relationships with its current customers, and its expansion into new client markets. Naturally, this has created an increased need for additional personnel, and because of its business strategy and the way revenue is created, it is crucial to obtain highly qualified attorneys for these positions. Again, because of its business model, the firm's financial well-being is directly dependent on the level of knowledge and diligence the attorneys apply. However, current external influences such as a tight labor market caused by unprecedented low unemployment rates have made it increasingly difficult to compete for top talent, and the firm has been experiencing high turnover. In 2023, 13 of 31 attorneys left the company for more attractive offers. Of course, this phenomenon creates several problems, including replacing the departed attorneys, which is a difficult and resource-intensive undertaking, dealing with the loss of knowledge and experience to handle complex cases, training of new attorneys, as well as handling the frustrations of current lawyers who will have an increased caseload due to the reassigned cases from the attorneys who left. Thus, there is an immediate need to address employee turnover and retention, stop the vicious cycle of losing talent, and instead employ and focus resources and energy on increasing performance and revenue. Only if retention is increased and brought under control, then the firm can focus on proactively growing and expanding instead of focusing on dealing with emergencies created by file transfers and training new employees. Advantage. While being a small company comes with many obstacles, such as a tighter budget and limited benefit options, as well as many other obstacles, the firm has the advantage of being able to react much more swiftly to pressing issues and to implement changes quickly without having to go through several layers of approvals. And here's a visual representation of the vicious cycle I just discussed. The high turnover and low retention rates will cause an increased workload for the remaining attorneys, which in turn will increase their frustration and lower morale, and will once again increase the turnover and decrease the retention rates. Cost of turnover. According to research, it is very common for employees to consider new opportunities, and unfortunately, voluntary turnover is very costly to organizations. In addition to the costs associated with the vicious cycle on the previous slide, it is estimated that losing a high-quality employee averages approximately 1.5 to 2 times of the employee's salary. According to the above, and if this trend continues, losing 13 attorneys per year could mean losing $150,000 to $200,000 per attorney times 13, so approximately $2 million per year, assuming the attorney only makes $100,000. Therefore, the firm must break this vicious cycle, establish a loyal and motivated workforce so it can focus on growing instead of spending time and resources on inefficiencies created by high turnover. Research suggests that investing in proactive measures, such as designing a contemporary and competitive total rewards program, will break the vicious cycle and increase productivity as it accomplishes all the necessary aspects that motivates employees to stay with an organization, also known as employee retention. Employee retention are all of the organizational programs and efforts that motivate employees to make a deliberate decision to stay and commit to a company long term, instead of seeking and considering alternative employment options. These programs include aspects related to considering employee expectations and preferences, connecting efforts to fair rewards, provide opportunities, as well as recognize workers for their contributions. Thus, despite total rewards programs constituting a major expense, the money would not be lost like it is now, but it will be an investment and work in favor of the organization and produce significant measurable and positive outcomes. Retention is the opposite of voluntary turnover and can be described as providing a high-quality environment conducive to motivating employees to stay with a company long-term. Therefore, it is a crucial aspect of overall organizational success, as the alternative will significantly lower efficiency and productivity due to the inefficient use of energy and resources. In addition, vital variables regarding retention include a wide variety of compensation strategies, such as incentives, promotional opportunities, benefits, and communication. All of these aspects increase job satisfaction, which in turn positively affects retention. Key to success. Business leaders must understand that organizational success depends on their workforce and on the quality and level of motivation found therein. Furthermore, because compensation and benefits is one of the strongest catalysts related thereto, they must harness this power to influence optimization on all critical levels and stages of employment. In general, a total reward system includes financial rewards such as wages, bonuses, profit sharing, stock plans, or gain sharing, but also indirect and non-financial rewards such as paid time off, health insurance, flexibility, work-life balance, recognition, or growth opportunities. Definition. Compensation management is a crucial HR instrument that influences all aspects related to human capital, including attracting new employees, keeping them engaged during their employment, and thereby influences their motivation to stay with the company long term. Furthermore, an effective compensation strategy is ideally aligned with the overall organizational objectives, mission, and philosophy, and represents a fair and equitable process that rewards employees for their efforts with various types of compensation, strategically increases their satisfaction and motivation, and thereby positively affects the organizational bottom line. Competitive strength. Research supports the notion that attracting high-quality candidates is crucial in developing and strengthening a company's competitive advantage and market strength. Furthermore, like many other human resource management processes, the recruitment and selection procedures require a high amount of energy and resources, and thus these programs should be constructed in a purposeful and efficient manner. More specifically, the selected compensation package offered by an organization is a powerful means to attract talent and thereby influences the company's success. Motivational tool. Rewards employees for their diligence and commitment to their work product, motivates them to apply themselves even more, but also has more wide-ranging effects, such as increased work satisfaction and employee engagement. Also, there's a significant positive correlation between the quality of total rewards packages and retention rates. Goal alignment. Compensation and benefits programs should be applied intentionally to link organizational objectives to business units' targets, as well as specific goals assigned to individual employees. This will ensure that every link in the organizational chain is connected to a mutual purpose and fully committed and motivated to work towards this endeavor. Strategic at all stages of the life cycle of an employee. Total reward strategies are a prime mover, the driving force behind the decisions of employees to choose an employer during the recruiting phase, the level of engagement, commitment, and motivation they will display during their time with the company, as well as the degree of internal connection and loyalty they will display once they're faced with a decision to remain with their current employer or to seek alternative options. This is what I call the ultimate test. How will the employee react when they get an email or phone call from a recruiter trying to hire them for another position? Research findings. There is strong evidence for a significant positive relationship between compensation and retention, as well as a negative correlation between compensation and turnover. This is based on the notion that compensation is directly related to job satisfaction, which in turn has a direct effect on employee retention and turnover. There's also a positive relationship between compensation and benefits packages and performance, and research shows improved organizational outcomes when the same are aligned with the business strategy, the organizational value, and the specific needs of employees in a framework of continuously evaluating the same for optimal fit and efficacy. Total rewards packages offered by organizations stimulate and influence employee behavior and performance, and thereby positively influence organizational productivity. Therefore, companies must pay attention to whether their employees are satisfied with their overall compensation package. Interestingly, while satisfaction related to pay is partially established by compensation meeting their expectations, the perception of fairness of their individual pay and how it compares to others related to their contributions is the most significant factor related to pay satisfaction. Thus, even if salary expectations are met, if the employee believes that they are not compensated fairly compared to others, or have doubts regarding the process related to determining how they're compensated, their compensation satisfaction will decrease, as will their motivation and productivity. Generally, employees prefer financial rewards over non-financial ones. However, non-financial psychological rewards must also be provided to sustain employee motivation in the long term, and these programs include employee recognition, challenging work and promotional opportunities, as well as aspects related to work-life balance and flexibility. More specifically, to achieve work-life balance means to minimize the conflict of one's work accountabilities with personal interests and responsibilities outside of work, and to optimize the harmonization between these various aspects of employees' lives. Flexibility was found to be the most advantageous option because it provides a more universal solution to the greatest variety of people regardless of their age and other demographics, as opposed to other benefits that only appeal or apply to a certain group found within the workforce. Unsurprisingly, work-life balance and flexibility programs were found to be positively correlated to employee productivity and retention. Thus, this emphasizes how critically important this benefit is to employees, and therefore, organizations should certainly take advantage of its power, effectiveness, and relative low cost in its endeavor to attract and retain employees. Furthermore, it is important to create written and official policies that are continuously communicated and used by managers to ensure the acceptability is infused into the organizational culture. Only if staff internalizes the acceptability of work-life balance is when these programs will start making a difference. 21st century considerations. Companies are currently facing a challenging labor market that is very employee and job seeker friendly. Therefore, it is crucial to consider employees' needs and desires and to design appealing and competitive compensation packages. Focusing on cost savings regarding total rewards can negatively affect the organization and result in higher expenses created by increased turnover and lost productivity produced by the cost-conscious reward system. Overall, it is imperative to communicate appreciation and value of employees by adjusting their compensation accordingly and use the total rewards plans to reflect the importance employees have to the organization and to implement a strategy that clearly explains how employees are rewarded for their efforts and outline what needs to be done to receive raises, bonuses, and promotions. Create pay structures and pay ranges that support the internal company culture and goals. This will also decrease potential compliance issues, increase transparency and perceived fairness, and while most employees still prefer higher pay as opposed to trading the same for other benefits, it is highly advantageous to offer popular benefits such as remote work, overall flexibility, and advocate for benefits that support work-life balance. If possible, customize and let employees choose the benefits that are important to them as individuals. Another crucial aspect regarding benefits considerations are the soaring costs of health insurance and how employers can make it more manageable for employees. For smaller employers, it is recommended to set up an HRA, which is a company-sponsored plan that pays back employees for certain medical expenses. Also, benefits related to mental health are becoming increasingly popular and can constitute a competitive edge for attracting new employees. Additional 21st century considerations. It is critical to realize that preferences among different groups of employees vary and can change over time. Thus, it is crucial to remain flexible in terms of compensation and benefit offerings to align with the dynamic nature of the same. In addition, because employees desire to align their internal values with those of the organization, developing a strong and appealing employer brand is imperative in the process of attracting and retaining employees. The employer brand is the general reputation and perception of an employer within the company and externally. It can be used as a strategic tool to design and promote a favorable image of the organization that will attract and retain employees. If an organization is seen as an attractive option for potential employees, it will become an appealing choice for high-quality candidates. Compensation and benefits programs are a critical component in the recruitment process and in attracting new employees. As the tables have turned and in the current labor market, employees are the ones who choose their employer and not the other way around. According to research, programs related to skill building, training and development, and career advancement, as well as work-life balance, have a significant positive effect on employee attraction and commitment, and are negatively correlated to employee turnover. This will result in cost savings for the company and in an improved bottom line. The ability to attract and retain top talent is likely to also result in improved customer relationships, which will support FDC Legal Solutions' differentiation strategy and thus directly align with the overall business approach and goals. Tailor total rewards to maximize efficiency and effectiveness. It is imperative to provide individualized compensation plans according to the context of the organization and the needs of the employees found therein. If the compensation strategy is not congruent with the organizational setting or the desires of the workforce, it will not be able to optimally harness its motivational powers. Thus, it is crucial to learn about the individual workforce at FDC Legal Solutions and how to design the best fit to serve that population. This can be accomplished not only by benchmarking, but also by investigating what the specific desires of the employees at the firm are, for example, by conducting exit or better yet stay interviews and through surveys, and then tailor the benefit package accordingly. Considerations in creating a total reward system. Compensation strategy. Focus on internal alignment and equity and elements influencing the same. It is furthermore imperative to be cognizant of the relevant markets when benchmarking related to external competitiveness. Consider the specific field, city, and size of the firm. Alignment of business strategy to all organizational levels. Consider and evaluate pay level policies. Will we apply a lag, match, or lead strategy? And lastly, which pay structure should we use? Skill-based pay or pay for performance? Internal alignment, equity, and perceived fairness. Not only are pay and the types of benefits employees receive of utmost importance, but also the way they are distributed is a vital aspect. More specifically, and according to equity theory and fairness, employees want to feel compensated fairly and not only evaluate the same by comparing their applied efforts, inputs to the rewards received, outputs, but also compare their pay to that of others. This includes the amount of pay and also the methods and calculations applied to arrive at the pay decisions. If perceived fairness is not warranted, employee motivation will decrease. Furthermore, one can distinguish between procedural justice, which focuses on the perceived fairness of the allocation method and all decisions made therein, whereas distributive justice refers to the perceived fairness of the dispersing the rewards and/or the related ratio of efforts applied in comparison to the rewards received. The alignment of overall organizational objectives throughout the firm is imperative. As stated before, the firm, next to revenue generation and according to its differentiation business strategy, wants to focus on customer service. This strategy will be embedded throughout the organization in the various departments and be reflected in its HR policies, including the compensation and benefits program. To accomplish this, I recommend defining customer service metrics such as email response time to clients, number and time frame of updates to clients, litigation report submission timeliness, and client surveys. These metrics can then be linked to certain compensation outcomes such as additional bonuses and/or play a role in the promotional process. Next, the firm needs to select a pay level policy that matches their goals. As stated previously, because the firm's revenue is dependent on the quantity and quality of their attorneys and due to labor market implications and the current high turnover and low retention rates, I would recommend a lead policy. In a lead policy, pay levels are higher than the market rate, and this will typically attract a higher quantity and quality of candidates. While this will initially increase the organizational costs, it is a worthwhile investment that will significantly increase the organizational bottom line and result in a high return on investment, especially compared to the organizational financial loss created by a high turnover as calculated previously. Considerations for creating a pay structure. Skill-based pay is a person-based system and rewards the employee's eagerness and ambitions related to their willingness to acquire additional skills, knowledge, and expertise, typically applied in group-based environments in which creativity and ingenuity are essential factors of the long-term strategy. This methodology is most practical in settings in which specific tasks are not highly categorized and individual contributions are difficult to express in consistent metrics. Pay for performance. In pay for performance, there is a direct connection between the employee's accomplishments and work product and the pay and incentives they receive. If created and applied correctly, this system can be very motivational to employees because they can see the direct link between their performance and what they need to do to receive the reward. It is crucial, however, that the guidelines and variables that link performance to pay are specified and embedded in a structured and consistent system that is clearly and thoroughly communicated to the organizational workforce, and the employer ensures employees understand the process. Otherwise, the motivational effects will be lessened and diminished. Furthermore, the factors related to performance and the selected predetermined metrics upon which performance measures are based upon must make sense in the specific environment and job setting of the employee, and the approach must be perceived as sensible, sound, and fair by the employees. Generally, this methodology is advantageous in structured settings that are based on consistent systems and behaviors and results that can be expressed and measured, such as customer service, satisfaction, and generated revenue, like in our case. Again, the law firm environment is designed around individual performers contributing to the success of the organization as opposed to team efforts. Incentive plans that promise rewards for increased output and efforts boost employee motivation and productivity, and to maximize the impact of rewards and incentives, they must be linked to performance and job duties to be measurable and desirable by the employee. Recommendations regarding pay structures and differentials. I recommend a job-based structure where the focus is on the job, its related tasks, and expected results. I recommend conducting an updated job analysis and job evaluations to design separate job descriptions and thereby separating the current job of associate attorney into multiple, more precise job titles. Increase the hierarchy to provide promotional roadmaps and thereby increasing motivation, internal alignment, and operational procedures, as well as advance the focus on individual contributions. The current D-layered structure is inefficient in the legal environment, and it hinders role clarity and increases confusion regarding responsibility. Job evaluations. Most effective means to promote fairness throughout the organizations, as they are an objective tool that operates in a structured and methodical manner to increase and uphold internal alignment. Furthermore, the process helps to determine the comparative value of jobs as it relates to the organization, as well as their worth in comparison to other jobs within the company, and thereby creates a delineation between certain job groups. Naturally, employees in similar jobs should receive similar wages, and employees in different groups should receive different wages according to their level of responsibility. Generally, applying objective and systematic processes will increase equity, fairness, and transparency, as these measures are legally and ethically compliant and make it easy to communicate openly about the subject to prevent the appearance of secrecy, as this would decrease trust and negatively affect employee engagement and loyalty. In addition, job analysis and evaluation are also thought to increase job satisfaction and motivation, as it establishes a framework providing a roadmap as to specific goals and how to achieve the same. Designing a job-based pay grade structure as a framework and guide to determine pay for newly hired attorneys, as well as to serve as a promotional roadmap for the current workforce. It is recommended to incorporate both job-based indicators and the relative internal value of individual positions. Employee motivation. In general, motivation is an internal power that, given the ideal circumstances, influences employees to change their behaviors and act in certain ways that benefit the organization. This internal force drives an individual to pursue and exert certain deliberate actions related to the achievement of desired objectives with the goal to fulfill an unmet need. The unmet need creates tension and pressure in employees and thereby generates the internal processes that move individuals to act in certain ways to achieve goals and fulfill this unmet need. Therefore, being aware and knowing how this internal drive is created and what an organization can do to harness its power to their advantage is critical. To provide an environment conducive to harnessing this powerful force, clear objectives and goals must be communicated, as well as detailed instructions regarding how to reach these targets and which actions and behaviors must be applied to attain these objectives. We can differentiate between extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is increased effort to attain an external reward, such as a bonus. Because motivation increases job contentment, it plays a critical role in employee engagement and retention. Motivation can be enhanced by compensation satisfaction and applying a system that uses incentives based on performance. Intrinsic motivation is the internal drive to attain a goal. Employee recognition, which is acknowledging employees' efforts and contributions, is a vital component of increasing intrinsic motivation, as it strengthens and boosts employees' self-esteem, according to the self-determination theory, and causes them to view themselves as an integral part of the organizational mechanisms that help achieve overall success. The belief of being a valuable contributor that can make a difference for the company increases employees' internal drives to increase their efforts. I explored motivational theories, including the self-determination theory, the reinforcement theory, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, equity theory, expectancy theory, motivation hygiene theory, and theory Y, and how they relate to compensation and benefits, and found that they all support the overall mindset that incentives and rewards and their perceived value and fairness are positively related to and very effective in increasing effort and productivity in employees, and that employees are intrinsically motivated by challenging and interesting work assignments and when they're recognized for their contributions. Furthermore, this research also supports the recommendation of updating job descriptions, as this will satisfy employee security needs as well as increase the perceived fairness and equity internally. Related to fairness and equity, these theories also emphasize the importance of creating and differentiating between different levels of experience and knowledge regarding a certain job title, as to further increase equity and fairness as well as motivation related to promotional aspirations. Based on all of the previously discussed research and motivational theories, I recommend conducting an updated job evaluation and separating the current job description of associate attorney into separate levels. This should be done to delineate and appreciate the varying levels of experience and knowledge, to communicate the firm's expectations of the attorneys at each level of their career, as well as to justify different pay levels and compensation programs at various levels. Furthermore, and as previously discussed, it will enable the organization to increase their pay transparency and increase perceived fairness and equity. Also, these pay structures and updated job evaluations will serve as a motivational roadmap related to the attorneys' careers. I recommend that the new attorneys who just graduated law school will be placed in the first category, Associate Attorney 1, where they will primarily work on pre-suit cases, legal research, discovery, and start at $100,000 to $110,000 a year with a basic bonus structure of 10%. Once they've gained a little bit of more experience, for example 2 to 3 years, they can work on cases that are in litigation and do client reporting and have more client contact, attend depositions, and earn approximately $110,000 to $120,000 a year, with a bonus structure and some of the customer service incentives that were discussed. The next level would be Associate Attorney 3, which is the 4 to 5 year range. There, the attorneys will attend mediations and trials and make about $120,000 to $130,000 with a higher bonus structure and more customer service incentives. And they will also receive a bonus for new case assignments that they brought into the firm. Next, the most experienced level will be the 6 to 7 year range, and there they have the opportunity to become a team leader and take on some of the managerial tasks and train other lower level attorneys. They will make about $130,000 to $150,000 with an even higher bonus structure. Obviously also customer service related bonuses, new assignment incentives, and also a huge incentive if they bring in a new client or break into a new market. Communication and ongoing evaluation. Research revealed that some employees are not fully aware of all the benefits offered by their organization. Naturally, if the compensation and benefit system is used to influence behavior, it will not be effective if the organizational workforce is unaware of it. Thus, it is critical that the HR department clearly and periodically outlines all aspects of the total rewards package before and during the life cycle of the employee. Therefore, FDC Legal Solutions will implement a proactive approach to communicating their total rewards package as well as how the results related to each employee's performance were derived. Moving forward, detailed information regarding compensation and benefits will be added to job postings and discussed during interviews. Once a new employee is hired, organizational offerings will be highlighted once again, and the employee will also receive a printed version they can refer to later for their records. The same method will be used for outlining the intricacies and interrelations of employee behavior and performance to the Pay for Performance incentive program. This will enhance their understanding, confidence, and motivation to apply increased efforts and maximize their work product. Regarding evaluation, communication can also be used to gain insight into the overall satisfaction as well as popularity of the strategy or certain benefits. It is suggested to conduct surveys and hold meetings to learn about how current employees feel regarding compensation and benefits. In addition, smaller companies are at an advantage as they can collect and react to information gathered more quickly than larger ones. Also, certain metrics related to benefits use can also be evaluated to ensure relevancy as well as conducting exit and stay interviews to adjust and improve total rewards. Conclusion. Based on my research findings regarding contemporary compensation and benefits models and best practices, as well as motivational theories, I recommend the following strategies for FDC Legal Solutions in an attempt to decrease its turnover and increase retention so that the company can focus on strategically growing and increase its productivity. First and foremost, we will align our overall organizational objectives and differentiation strategy throughout the organization so that all departments, teams, and each employee work together towards a mutual goal. We will adopt a job-based pay structure, conduct a thorough updated job evaluation for the attorney position, and revise the pay structure to delineate and differentiate between the different levels of experience, skills, and responsibilities. This will support our goal of increasing the perception of fairness and equity, allow us to be more transparent regarding pay, and will provide role clarity as well as motivate attorneys regarding promotional opportunities. We will implement a lead-level pay policy with pay that is above the market rate and consider the strategy an investment that will produce a positive ROI. Also, based on research regarding motivation, we will offer a pay-for-performance program, but also focus on work-life balance, flexibility, and employee recognition programs. Lastly, we will ensure ongoing communication regarding our compensation and benefits program, customize where possible, and continuously evaluate the same to ensure optimal efficiency. Thank you for watching my presentation on how to design a compensation and benefits program to decrease turnover and increase employee retention by applying findings of current research and best practices. I hope you find this information helpful. Thank you.